Welcome, I'm Bea. My channel is about mixed media, art, journaling and more. Welcome to week 2 for the weekly budget-friendly backgrounds. Today we're gonna need corrugated cardboard. Our surface we are working on, I have already gessoed. As you can see, I have gessoed already 2 pages. I only gonna work on this page. We're gonna need acrylic paint. We're gonna stamp without stamps. As I said, we're gonna need cardboard. We're gonna need a brayer. At the moment, IKEA has in the kit section a really inexpensive kit. We're gonna play with that. You need some sort of a cube or a little box and some rubber bands. Then we can make stamps with the pencils which have their eraser at the other end. This one is a square one and this one is a round one. Bubble wrap is a way to stamp. Optional, we're gonna need a punch. We're gonna need double-sided tape and we're gonna need lace. Where did I put that? Hold on a second. Oh, here it is. We're gonna need some sort of lace. So let's start with the easiest. What we're also gonna need is a sort of a palette. I use old laminated papers, which we don't need no longer. I cut them up into little pellets, which is really handy if you have to put on some paint and not have it everywhere. So let's start with some black and the very classic, probably everybody knows already, those found objects. There was another circle somewhere. Too much stuff going on here. Hold on a second. Here we are. I'm gonna start with some black, and then I'm gonna paint several layers. You can go with whatever you want in colors. I have chosen some craft paint this time, a red, engine red, and pumpkin orange, and coastal blue, and true blue. But of course you go for what you like. So we're gonna need some, you could either spread it out with a roller, but we're gonna use that for something else. If you have a second roller, go ahead and spread your color with a roller. If you don't have, you could use some cardboard instead, works also. So I need a place where I can put in my tubes and start stamping in random places, overlapping, changing between the sizes. Maybe some solids. And why not some squares? Well, they're more oval, which is okay with me. So look around what kind of pencils you have and what kind of rubber they have. Okay, that's for the moment. We'll put that aside to dry. I think this is a very easy one. It's just a block and you just wrap your elastic, sorry, just had a blank, elastic around and arrange it as you want it. We don't gonna use it right now. I want to first, because I want the black to be dry, and then we go over with another color. So for the, now let's start with the cardboard. There are different types of cardboards around, so you have to look what kind of cardboard you have. That's the white corrugated, and that's the fine corrugated. The fine corrugated are usually also a little bit smaller, so that made me thinking, I could use also a punch, which wouldn't work with the really thick one. So I'm gonna punch out this time a flower shape. That's like the hearts, I did before the hearts. And then you need a needle tool. If you don't have a needle tool, maybe a toothpick works too, but I prefer actually the needle tool. There are several layers. I go, maybe I film you in now. Maybe I have to adjust the light also. Okay. There are several layers in here, and I just grab the first layer here and remove the top layer. I try to get out as much as I can, and sometimes I use the tweezers to get the last bit. So now I have a flower. What I also did is I made little handles, and those are just with the simple tape, painter's tape, nothing fancy. It's a little bit white, this one, so I cut just the strip. Fold it more or less in half. It doesn't have to be exact, it's not rocket science. And attach it to the flower, so I have can easily stamp with it. So then I think I need give it a quick heat blast, and then I will be back. So my next step is I'm gonna paint all over with some orange, and I'm gonna add a little bit of water to my palette because I want a rather thin layer. I want it somewhat transparent. Depending on what kind of colors you have, you add more or less water. So I'm gonna, okay, the black wasn't quite dry here. Oh well, just adds to the character. So I'm gonna again use the heat gun, and then I will be back. So I'm back. Next we're gonna work with some red. And the good thing about those cardboards, because you don't really keep them, you don't have to clean them. Just saves us some time. Oops. Oops, that were way more than what I need, but oh well. So let's stamp some lines first. And maybe some hearts. Can you see it? Okay, I have to go a little bit more up, I see. Those stamps are not made for perfection. They're just a fun way to add texture. A full heart somewhere. And then we're gonna change color and do some more. Just to see what that looks like. That looks like that. Oh, I like that. Yep. Okay. Switch out color. And I'm actually gonna switch out the palette. Let's go for some dark blue. Yeah, I think so. That's enough. I need another piece to spread it. I actually could take this one. And then let's try the flower and the triangle. First the triangle, I think. So if you don't have punches, just cut your cardboard in any shape you like. It's not quite dry yet. Still, no risk, no fun. Yeah, it worked. Okay, I think I'm done, and I'm gonna dry it again before I go on. So my next color gonna be this sky blue, light blue, coastal blue, okay. And again, I need a little bit of cardboard to spread it. Gonna use some scraps. As I said, if you have a roller, that works a little bit more even, but for that kind of work, I'm fine with that. Now, also with the bubble wrap, again, there are different sizes. So check out. I'm still looking. There are really the big ones I haven't found yet. I mean, I didn't get packages with the really big bubbles yet, which would probably be a little bit big for that, but I really use it also when I'm working on canvas. So let's add some dots. Sky blue, and then we have our rubber. depending how the rubber bands are arranged on the side, you get slightly different patterns. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm gonna put that aside for a moment. Let that dry a little bit while we are working on our roller. We need lace, and I figure out how much I need depending on the circumference of your brayer. Cut it here, and it's double-sided tape, which I add to the fabric first. And if you don't have a bone folder, which I used to have somewhere, but I can't find it yet now, so you can use also a spoon to burnish down your tape. You have to make sure that it is really well down to your fabric. So burnish it a little bit with a spoon or a bone folder. I tend to cut straight afterwards. Then I need my needle tool again, it is somewhere here, to remove the protective paper. It's sticky. Okay, and then it's simply, because there is a line here, makes it a little bit easier to align it somewhat straight, so that it meets at the end. And I actually did cut a little bit too much, so I'm gonna cut it back. I want it butt to butt, I don't want it overlapping. And it's a little bit flexible, so you can pull a bit. So I want to use white, but it is not dry yet. I actually gonna use gesso, but you could also use white paint. So again, I have to dry it and I will be back. As I said, with the roller I'm gonna use gesso, and again, if you don't have a spatula, a spoon. And I also need a paper to roll off it a little bit. And as you can see, I have already used it. And again, I need a little bit of cardboard to spread it out. I think that was a little bit too much, so I did put it back into my big pot. So let's see how that works, so that you can see it. So maybe something like that. Okay. So you roll off a bit and then you start rolling all along, and it's up to you how much you want to cover up. I actually want here a little bit more. How fun is that? I like it. You can sort of see the pattern in some areas. Nice. So that's what we have for our weekly budget-friendly backgrounds. See you soon!